We've been having some fun having a conversation, but tell me, what do you think about exploiting labor? What is that whole thing about minimum wage? What is that? Can people make it on $7 an hour?
No, no, they can't. People used to be able to make it on a little bit less when they worked for companies where they would get their health care benefits, when they had disability insurance, when they had pension. These things have been taken away because the companies discovered that they could take them away, and so they could make more profit, and so it makes these wages worth much less. So now there are charts that show how, comparatively we're making really a lot less than we were years ago because we were getting more for the money, and exploiting labor is just not a good idea for anyone except the very top echelons of people that are getting by making the profits off of people's hard work. Everybody else is not benefiting from it, and we need to blah 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 blah. I don't know, what do we need?
Okay.
Now I'm thinking.
Now, I want to ask you, what do you think about people that they talk about morality and how they have a hard work ethic, and if you work really, really hard, like I knew a lady that fried chicken for 11 years over there in Arkansas, and by God, I swear she fried the best chicken, but I don't think she ever got a raise unless the minimum wage went up. So, I mean, what do you think about people when they say that people are lazy and they don't want to work? What about the jobs bill and the fact they didn't pass that and everything? Are people lazy?
Well, you certainly can't explain everything that's happened in South Carolina just saying that there's such a high percentage of lazy people in South Carolina. That just doesn't make sense. You have to look around you and realize what's really going on, and it's being caused, the people becoming impoverished is because there are bad policies that are in place that really put a hardship on working people. And we have always had this work ethic that, you work and you work just for the sake of being a dedicated person. You can be a loyal employee. You work till you drop. And this is a virtue that we admire in people, that they're willing to just keep on going and keep on going. But and it is a virtue to be hardworking, but it's being exploited by bosses, by big corporate owners. They take advantage of this strong work ethic. We're certainly not lazy. We have the strongest work ethic of any people in the world, but we're being taught that that our work is not worthy. That that it's somehow a virtue to not be paid what you're worth, because that shows that you just want to do a good job. And but we deserve to be able to take care of our families, and to be able to make sure that our children get education, and that they have adequate health care, and that our older people are taken care of. Anyone who can't work because of a disability. These are things. These are just basic principles of the United States. And there's no reason why we should be trying to change our standard of living to benefit people who are making the biggest profits ever in the history of the world.
What about that debt ceiling thing and holding the world economy hostage?
Well,
yeah, what's your take on that?
Well, that was just ridiculous. People don't understand what the debt ceiling is. A lot of people, I guess, because that just means we're paying our bills of money that was already spent. The time to solve that is not. You can't say, well, I spent too much on my credit card bill, and so I'm going to solve that problem by not paying it. And that's virtually what they were trying to do with holding the debt ceiling hostage, and throwing in all kinds of things that had nothing to do with anything except removing social programs that we have a right as Americans to expect. It was just a purely fabricated emergency, and if you don't like the fact that the country has spent too many trillions of dollars, which by the way have been spent on wars that were not paid for, and these tax cuts for the wealthiest people that were not paid for. The crisis was not caused by working people, by teachers and firefighters and policemen making too much money. It was not caused by people who are on disability and senior citizens getting money. That did not create the problem. And the time to solve it is not when the bill comes due. You don't say, well, we shouldn't have spent that money back then. That money is spent. So they should have not made any of this issue over raising the debt ceiling. The time to adjust what we spend is when we're setting our budgets and not when the bill comes due.